the presentations. I would request our panelists to join me on the stage. Dr. Edna and Zishan, kindly join me on the stage here. Now we are having a continuation of our discussion that we were having before lunch, and this is by Bob Ochieng. So the moment the technical team get hold of him, we'll proceed with that discussion or that presentation. So let's just be patient as they try to get a link with him, and then we can now proceed. So we are waiting for this presentation by Bob Ochieng on the universal acceptance towards a multilingual internet as a catalyst for knowledge diplomacy. Bob, can you hear me?
Thank you very much. Yes, I can hear you. Not sure if I can share my slides, and if you can hear me, just give me a signal.
But we can hear you very clearly.
Great, wonderful. So I'll be ready when you are ready.
We are indeed ready. Thank you. You can proceed.
Thank you very much for this invitation and for the opportunity to you, albeit remotely today. But I think it's also a testament to the day and age where, you know, hybrid and virtual and the internet is, you know, able to connect us, you know, from wherever we are. And of course, this is a phenomenon that, you know, we greatly encourage. I'll try to share my slides so that I, you know, just take you through very briefly the topic that I was invited to speak on today. And I, you know, must appreciate and recognize, you know, the panel before me, very eloquent speeches. I believe they have set the bar very high. I will attempt to you know, fit in, but if I, you know, don't get to that level, remember, I am not a doctor yet, so most of those eloquent speakers before me, you know, have very elaborate CVs. So it's really a privilege to, you know, join this audience and eminent panelists today to talk about something that we are very passionate about, of course, as an organization, but also that speaks to today's theme. Why, you know, should we care about a multilingual internet, and why is it important? My name is Bob Ochieng. This presentation will be less than maybe 10 minutes. I am not sure how much time I have. Mr. Chair. So I believe I'll try then do it in 10 minutes so that the others can also.
10 minutes. Yes, Bob.
Thank you. So I sit in Nairobi and I work for ICANN. ICANN is a long name for, or is an acronym for quite a long name, the Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers. And what ICANN does is essentially in the last two ends that you see in the name down there, assigning names and assigning numbers. And probably just to reflect for a second why that is important for us today and for humanity today, if I dare say so. Today, I believe we are interacting. In fact, I'm joining this conference courtesy of the internet. And I do believe that, most of you, when you got into that room, probably the first question you wanted to know is what the password was. In Kenya, we say, "Wapi password?" It's always about password. So it means that the internet is that silent, always present need for those who don't have it, but also a need that is appreciated as long as it is there and working. Meaning, it has become part and parcel of our lives. But there are fundamental things that this internet rely on. And there is quite a journey on a number of things that we are yet to achieve to make this internet truly inclusive. And that includes linguistically inclusive. The speakers before me were very eloquent on why multilingualism or the place of multilingualism. And I couldn't help relating with the Mena story. I happen to be coming from around that region as well. And it's so compelling and authentic. The power of language. I think it is Nelson Mandela who said that, when you speak to people in a language that they understand, it goes into their heads. But when you speak to them in their language, it goes to their hearts. Now, so what is the purpose or the importance of language on the internet? Is it relevant? To what extent can it promote diplomacy? And I think, I'll sort of build on from, the previous speaker who gave a very broad foundation that I feel holds all of us in subsequent discussion. So what do we mean when we say universal acceptance, and why is it relevant? Most of the time, terminology around the internet seem very far, even to relate to it. But if I told you today that each and every one of you seated in the room and following remotely are actually consuming critical internet identifiers, probably a number of them in a go. If you have a phone today, if you have phones, if you have a laptop or laptops, if you have smartphones, chances are all of them are connecting to the internet. Now, each of those devices can only connect to the internet courtesy of what we call internet critical identifiers. But you and me, while devices connect to the internet, ultimately, the purpose of the internet is to connect people. When you go online, you go to connect with someone. When you write an article, it has a target audience, meaning it finally connects to someone. So the internet is a place to connect. And therefore, it is important that you can connect in a language that the intended audience can understand. In fact, it is even better if it is in their own language, so that you can speak to their heart. And I think in the academic world, it is very compelling that you speak, to your students, to your audience in a language that they can understand. But it would be best if you could speak in their own language. Have we ever thought the same for the internet? What if you can write the same thing that you are writing, that you no longer have to write probably only in Swahili or in English, because you are able to write to your target audience in the language that they understand. Maybe we can say that it is already possible because, I mean, when you go online, you have content in all manner of languages. That is very true. But there is an element of the internet that is still way behind. You might, want to understand that. So what ICANN does is to assign names and numbers. So today, if you go online, probably you said, aheri.or.ke or .tz or google.com or facebook.com. That is a name. In ICANN, we call that a name. But our technical platforms or the internet per se, does not understand that. Now, when you say Aheri dot something, it means you want content about Aheri or Aheri's website as a website or as a domain name. How does the system behind the scene direct you exactly to that particular content? Remember, the internet is a network of networks. It is not one homogeneous single network, with someone managing it somewhere. It is hundreds of thousands of different autonomous networks that have only been able to communicate or work together because of names and numbers, what we call IP addresses. So all you need across the internet and for your devices, for all these things to work, are names and numbers. And therefore, names and numbers are unique identifiers, meaning if a name is already issued, then no one else can have it. Otherwise, there will be a conflict. So there cannot be two owners of google.com, as an example. There is only one. Or you cannot have more than one registration of a particular name. You can't have someone registering aheri.com or .something in Tanzania, exactly the same name registered in South Africa or in North America. It is unique, and once taken, it is taken. The point I want to drive home why universal acceptance is important is because if today you want to write in Chinese, you want your content in Chinese, that is possible, okay? So to some extent, the internet is already accommodating different languages because we have said people think or knowledge is transferred in your local language. You think you're better off thinking in your local language. And I think we've been advised that if you think better in your local language, then you'd rather do that and then translate in the language that is required. So today, the goal of universal acceptance is for all domain names and email addresses to be able to work in software applications. The point why the academia is critical for us to achieve this. Today, globally, from the global level, we have a possibility of around 1,200 possibilities of domain names. So you could have aheri.com, aheri.africa, aheri.net, aheri.info, aheri.edu. There is a potential list of 1,000 options that you could actually choose from when you are registering the domain that you want to use for Aheri. In other words, we have around 1,200 possibilities today. But out of those, there's an interesting phenomenon that we are trying to highlight, and what we feel that the academia should also be an important avenue to help us amplify. First of all, out of those, we have what we call internationalized domain name. I think Prof. Chacha was in the morning speaking about internationalization. I'm happy to highlight that even in the domain name world, we have internationalized domain name. And I'll just give a very quick illustration on what that is. And that came out from the expansion of the domain name system way back in 2012. But apart from that, we also have a email address internationalization. So my next slide will be sort of highlighting this, and then I finish. But the whole idea about this is so that even domain names can promote choice, can promote competition, and can provide a broader access to end users. Broader, why? Because we are targeting you in your own language, where your own script of writing. I think 80% of the internet for a very long time was Latin script, you know, A to Z or 0 to 9. But how are the Chinese supposed to interact with that if that is the only language? How about the Japanese? How about Arabic speakers? So we write in very many other scripts, and I think linguistics or linguists in the room understand this better than me. The importance of language cannot be overemphasized. What we are saying is that we want to extend that to domain names in two parts, from the domain name part and from the email address part. And I just want to illustrate this with this final slide. So from the domain name part, I indicated that we have expanded the naming space, okay? So we have newer top-level domain names. You see, for example, .sky or .africa, which you might have heard about, or .joburg, or .london. Those never used to be there before 2012. But we also have longer top-level domain names. So I'm talking about newer, because they used to have, you know, 3 letters, so .com, .net, .edu. The ones that you know, they are largely 3 letters. Today, we have newer ones. So you have .sky, for example. You have .ibm, for example. That was not there before. But at the same time, we have longer top-level domain names. So you have something .engineering or .music or .africa or .joburg. So not only is it newer, it is also longer, okay? Thirdly, and that is the domain name part, we also have what we call internationalized domain name, meaning that same newer or longer domain name, but written in a script that is not Latin, is not 0 to 9 or A to Z. So whatever you are seeing there could be probably a domain name in Chinese or Cyrillic or Arabic or Japanese. That is today possible. When we talk about lingual internet, we want to go beyond the content on the domain name or on the website that you're seeing on. We want to get to the domain name itself. Because what we have today is a domain name in Latin script. So you have www.sky. The content is in Chinese, okay? We want example Sky to Chinese, just the content that is posting in that particular domain name. And if we were to get there, then inshallah, you know, met the objectives of internationalization of domain name. The second part is about email addresses, and I want to highlight, you know, briefly as follows. We have email addresses that the first part is ASCII, for example, Ekrem, and the second part is a new and long top-level domain name. For example, Ekrem at, you know, ekrem.istanbul. So .istanbul, you see there, is the new domain name that I have explained, but it is also longer, okay? So that one is still okay today. The second part, the possibility that you could have today is ASCII, okay, which we know anything A to Z or 0 to 9, at an internationalized domain name, what we are calling an IDN. So for example, you're seeing Mac at society.org. So when you write, you know, society, the way it is written there, associate, that is a different writing script. That is not Latin script. Okay? Particular email address should also work, and whoever is holding it has the right or should have the right to also communicate freely. The third part is you have Unicode at ASCII, as you see there, or you have a Unicode name at IDN, or you have a Unicode name at IDN right to left. Remember, Arabic, for example, is written from right to left, isn't it? So the purpose of this particular presentation and exactly what I wanted to highlight today is to emphasize and amplify the need for the academia, starting with their own systems, to help us bridge the linguistic gap at the IDN or domain name level, just as we are, urging multilingual content in various languages on the internet. Let it not stop at the content itself. Let us get to the domain name level, okay? And we can do this by starting by our own systems in various universities. The key principles of universal acceptance readiness is so that all systems can accept, can validate, can store, and can display correctly every domain name. I think in the interest of time, you'll allow me to pause it there. I'll be happy to share these slides. They're quite long, but I wanted just to give you a gist of why universal acceptance and what it exactly means and why it is important and what the academia, can help us do. So I think with those few remarks, I'll return it back to the chair to take any questions that follow. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Bob, for that insightful presentation. Please don't go away. Just hold on until probably the end of this presentation. We'll take your questions at the end of the presentations so that you can also share with us your thoughts in the questions. Thank you so much. Now we want to get the second presenter. I will request Dr. Edna Edward to give a presentation on building strong innovation and smart university to deliver socio-economic transformations for inclusive economic growth and sustainable development. Welcome.
Good afternoon once again. So my name's Edna Makule, working for Nelson Mandela African Institution of Science and Technology. Yeah, I serve as a lecturer in the food science and technology, as well as director for research and innovation. So I would like to share with you our presentation on building strong innovation and smart university to deliver social, economic, and environmental transformation for inclusive economic growth and sustainable development. So this, my presentation will base on the experience of our institution. And why is it transformative? Because we have caused a remarkable change in our curricula and the way we deliver our courses and the way we deliver our courses, and also the way we equip our graduate with the knowledge, especially focusing on coming up with the innovation. But we have also changed from our business model, from the 3D model of which most of the university use it, and we are currently running our 5D model. So we will share our insight as I present. So, higher learning institutions are required to demonstrate the ways in which they respond to social and economic needs of society. So few of these enhancing graduate employability. So if I may ask, in our experience lately, how the quality of our graduates, the capacity of them to be employed, are they adopted by the current job market? Taking into consideration that there is increasing number of graduates recently and more are coming. Not sure if the numbers are correct, but I just saw somewhere that in Tanzania, for example, we had like 700,000 graduates each year, but the market absorbs less than 20% of the graduates. So what can we do as the higher learning institution? Will we proceed to do a business as usual, or what can we do? So this calls for thinking on our curricula, the package of our undergrad and postgrad package, so that at least, and also be the one to stimulate even increment of the industry that will absorb the graduates, the products that we are keeping on delivering to the community. Also stimulating new enterprises and innovation in existing firms. So when we package our students, our student with a package that allow them to start the new enterprise, then they will be the ones to absorb others. And also having the innovation in the existing firm, then this will expand even the production, the quality, and all the names. So in that way, we will impact on our economy, contribution to the national economic growth and local development in short and long term. So higher learning institutions also must continuously adapt and respond to new challenges to maintain standard of the excellence and be competitive on international education markets. So our markets as well as outside market. There was a debate in last few days. I attended an event on Academia Sparks, where academic were in the same room with the employers. So each one was complaining about, you're not giving us the quality that we want. But we don't know. That's where we were discussing in the morning. Like there is no the connection between the academia and the market, like the job market. So this calls us as higher learning also to continue adapt, because the world is changing so much. There are a lot of changes as we are now moving to the fourth industrial revolution. There's a lot of changes. If we keep on doing business as usual, teaching our students what we don't have in the theory part from the books, then we will keep on adding students to the community, and later on, I don't know what will happen. And hearing from the politics of Kenya, even the president of Kenya is now calling for the academic institution to look at the curricula, so that at least the students from the higher institution contribute to the economy. So NMIST, that's Nelson Mandela African Institution of Science and Technology, in the form of transformative higher learning institution. When we say transformative, that means we have, like I said, we changed our business model. So we want really to transform and change and see how we will contribute to the current change in the academia world. So as I said in the morning, the Nelson Mandela African Institution of Science was established in 2009, but this was the results of the meeting that was done in 2001 on the heads of states in Africa, where the late Nelson Mandela proposed on the establishment of the science of the science and engineering institution so that they can focus on the set science, engineering, technology, and innovation to adapt to the skill gap that the Africa was facing. And this is a research-intensive institution and is for graduate. When I say graduate, is master's and PhD student as well as postdoc. And our focus is on SET and aiming in building research and innovation skills that lead to technology development. So our faculty and scholars are tasked to engage with industry. So there is a strong linkage with industry and community so that we obtain the problem, and our motto is academia for society and industry. So whatever we are doing in the frame of research, in the frame of academic, that has to reflect the society that is around us. So whatever solution that we are getting from the research, this has to be a transfer to the community surround us and communities around us, Tanzania and Africa at large. So in transformative higher learning institutions, so NMIST changed from this 3D mode to a more transformative 5D business model. So our 5D model has the 5 components. So has the research and innovation component, has the postgraduate training and skills development, has a outreach and community engagement, has incubation management, and commercialization. So with the research and innovation, that's where all matters of research, which research topic, partnership in research, grants management, and all the stuff that are under research are there. When it comes to research innovation, this means the research output, and it can be either a tangible product, service, or any new solution that emanates from the research that we are doing. And incubation management, that's where we incubate the potential innovation that has the sense that it can be transferred or commercialized and impact to the society, and at the same time gaining revenue out of it for our sustainability plan. And we have this, and all this goes to the society and industry. So the 5 key features of our 5D model, that is on engineering of teaching and learning, like I said, we review our curricula to reflect the current market need. And we also re-engineering of research and innovation. As I say, we had an innovation that sits on our shelves, and later on we realized we cannot move like this. The communities around us doesn't even know what we are doing. Earlier on, we insisted on publishing because our postgraduate student, that was the one criteria for graduating. One has to publish. And in which journal are we publishing? These are scientific journal, peer reviewed. Even a layman cannot access them, cannot read them. So to whom exactly are we trying to disseminate our research? While we have gathered the problem from the society surrounding us or from the industry in Tanzania, but when it comes to dissemination, we disseminate to the scientific world, those who can refer the peer-reviewed journal. So we keep on, we insisted that, oh, this will not work. Let us find a strategy or a way forward to disseminate our findings in the local community. And that's why our motto now says, the industry surrounding us has to know what we are doing. And the community surrounding us should be the consumers of what we are doing. And if we want to keep that one strengthened, then there is an internship program, and where now the student goes out to gather the problems, comes back and work on them. And currently we have been doing very good in the area of computation, embedded mobile system, where students do only projects. So they go out to the industry, they find out problems, especially in the area of embedded mobile system. they come back and they are doing great things in that area. So the fifth one is entrepreneurial management. I think there are changes in the computer. The industrial thinking, commercialization, there's a gap there, the sliding. Okay. So the last one is the commercialization and industrialization. So sorry that there are changes in the slide, I think because of the shifting of computers. The next. So we have pillars at NMIST. And next. Yes, the first one is schools, centers, and departments and researchers. So this is the main production of all the innovation that we are talking about, because at the level of schools, centers, and at the levels of researchers, that's where all our research are conducted. And we have incubators and innovation centers, but the aim, the bigger picture of this is to have the technology park, which is yet to start, but we already have a land for this. And since I said we are still at the infant stage, we have the incubator at the campus, and this is mainly to incubate the potential innovation that can pass through commercialization. Next. We also have ICT Resource Center, so one of my colleagues here will also present something from there. And Eco Park, that is medicinal garden and research laboratory. So this is also yet to, we are making steps in this area. So these are the pillars that we have at the institution. So in the area of training and skills development, we have 4 schools. And we have the School of Life Science and Bioengineering, where the issues on sustainable agriculture, food biotechnology, and nutritional sciences, issues on biodiversity and conservation, ecosystem management, issues on molecular bioengineering, and health and biomedical sciences are taken care of. So all this research under these areas, research shares are all in that frame. Next. So the other school is School of Computation and Communication Science and Engineering, where we have a component on computer science and engineering, mathematics and computational science, embedded mobile system, information and communication science. So issues on computation, issues on ICT, issues on information technology are taken care in this under this school. And the third school is on material, energy, water, and environment science, where issues on materials, water, and energy are taken care. And the last one is the School of Business Studies and Humanity. So this school is the link to other schools. So the 3 schools produces a scientist, but we wanted to our scientists to have a substantial dose on business studies, on issues to know early enough, issues on innovation, issues on business, issues on intellectual property and technology, issues on business administration and management. In doing that, so the School of Bush links to all the 3 schools, and whoever is enrolled at NMIST has to take the science component and business. So this is a must. It's a mandatory for every student to learn the courses from the business studies. Next. So our key thematic areas at Nelson Mandela African Institution of Science and Technology, we have several research groups. We have 4 schools, but our thematic area, we are conducting research under agriculture, food and nutrition security, biodiversity of nature and the ecosystem management, human and animal health, focusing on eco-health, energy security management, environmental, for safety and sustainable development, water security and sustainability, And the last one is core and applied electrical engineering, electronics, and information sciences. So in the three schools I've talked about, they are centers of excellence, and some of these are funded by the World Bank, and some another one, the Senate Center of Excellence for ICT in East Africa. This is funded by the GAD through GIZ. We have also Center of Excellence in IT, SAIT. This is established by the Center of Advanced Computing, CDAC, and is mainly on HPC supercomputer facility. So, talking to all the staff, the 5D model, we came to have our research and innovation ecosystem, on which this is, we have the schools and centers as the production, then we have the School of Bush that facilitates the business aspects, the innovation, the technology, so the training on that area. Then from the school, they develop solution through application of science, technology, and innovation, and post research. So towards the end, when the innovation is there, so there is an incubation, technology transfer, and commercialization, and thereafter pass to the social, to impact on the social economic. And under the incubation technology center, there is Directorate of Research and Innovation, where we work on research management, innovation management, and we had under it the 4 offices that are interconnected, and that is where the innovation pass through to the commercialization. Next. So this is an organogram. So we start with the research management office, so the borderline. In the research management office, this is where all the innovation from the research goes. So when they are there, they are evaluated for their potential to know, is this perfect enough to go straight to the technology transfer and the commercialization? Does it need to be perfected further? Then it goes back to the schools and center. And does it need to pass it through incubation? Maybe there are some skills or some commercial proof of concept that needs to be done before it goes to the commercialization. But we also have intellectual property management office, where all intellectual property issues are managed under this office. And the last office is Office on Technology Transfer and the Commercialization, where it deals with commercialization and transfer of our innovation to the society and community. Next. So this is the Research Management Office, which facilitates the grants application. So we have been attracting quite a good number of grants. And also it is the office that document and implement progress for all research grants. So this office manages the progress and all research grants to know at which stage the research project is, and if it has attained the expected milestone. So it's also documenting all output, as I said previously, from the research. So this is our research from faculty, let it be from the projects, and also research from the students, and also coordinating the NMIs to research and the innovation policy and its guideline. So we have also policies that guide us, and the research and innovation policy and the IP policy with the guidelines. Next. And we have the office of the NMIST Innovation-Based Incubation Center. So this is an incubation center that is housed at the NMIST Research and Innovation Directorate, and this was established in 2020 under the financial support of the government of Tanzania and African Development Bank Fund. This office ensures that optimal transformation of NMIST intellectual properties into potential business ventures ready for public utilization and commercialization, and also manage the incubation process. So that is from pre-incubation incubation of the potential inventions and innovation. And we have also the Office of Intellectual Property Management, where all IP, it does the IP awareness, creation, and evaluation. Because when it comes to the IP application, the inventors need to be trained, need to be aware of what, when it comes to loyalty distribution, what is in for them. So the offices has to, the IP office has to really take care of that part. So it also manages the IP portfolio at the institution, and is the custodian of our IP, intellectual property policy and guidelines. And the last one is the Office of Technology Transfer and Commercialization, where it deals with IP marketing and market research, also branding and marketing. Sorry again for the changes in the compute, from the computer to computer. It also does the IP sales, and that is through a licensing, either exclusive or non-exclusive. And also it does work to check on the spin-off and spin-outs, and it's managed the rights and responsibility of all parties when involved in the development of the technology transfer and the commercialization in MIS. So we have our operational tools and guidelines that the Directorate of Research and Innovation have, and we have the two, we have the two policies, that is the Research and Innovation Policy and its guideline. The second one is the Intellectual Property Management, Intellectual Property Policy, but we also have 26 tools that are approved for operationalization of the 4 offices that I say, that is technology transfer, intellectual property, incubation, and research management office. So these are the key tools to our daily operation. When we started working on this, it was a challenge that how are you navigating through all this? So in every step that we tried to move, we found, oh, you need this, you need this, you need this tool to guide this way, you need this tool. So we came up, and we are still, really, we are still learning, and we are still progressing. And the flow of the main activities. So when we receive an innovation, so it starts with the first box. Technology. So so the boxes at my left side. So that's the flow of the innovation, the flow path to the commercialization. In the morning, one of the participants asked, at which stage do your innovator leave the space? So it depends. So they are the ones that comes through after the innovation, then it goes to the evaluation, and then it goes straight to the protection and goes to the commercialization. But there are those who, after evaluation, has to go to the incubation, and then protection and commercialization. And there are those goes to first to the incubation, then protection, and then back, from the assessment to the protection based on their sensitivity, then to the incubation, and then to the commercialization. So we have some of the achievement that we have made to date. Since the establishment of the Nelson Mandela, we have managed to attract more than 100 grants, and currently we have around 42 ongoing research projects. We have more than 500 research output. So these are both from academic staff and research, student research work. And currently we have around 73 potential innovation, which were evaluated from this 572. And these are in the area of biopesticides, healthy food products, nanofilter, wastewater management, leather tanning, IT and digital innovation, vaccine and animal products. And we have publication. So we are saving both. We publish, we innovate. So this is one of the innovations, some of the potential innovation that we had. And this is the instant porridge flour, which is a nutritious but convenient, and is for all age group. So this is one of the session that they were testing the products during the Innovation Week in Tanzania that was held in May this year. Next. So these are also some of our products. We have the cashew apple juice, dried African nightshade, fermented African nightshade relish, a dried cashew apple. So these are all the products that we have, some of them that we have at the institution. So these are the exhibition that we have done, and we have one potential innovation, and this is at the top left. That is ugali, the smart ugali cooker. We are all from East Africa, so we know ugali. So one of our students in the embedded mobile system invent a smart ugali cooker. And we are in the process of multiplying the production so that we can test at the community and see how it performs. We also had Lab. I think this is famous also in Kenya. So one of our inventors invent the seeds and also the products out of it, that is the cooking time. So these are also some of our products. We have the biogas stove, as we are now moving to the green energy. So this will be potential maybe in the next days. So these are some of the, as I say, we have the incubation. So some of the products that have entered into our incubation, we have automated surgical gown and smart card for water cells. So this is still under the pre-incubation stage. And some of the innovation that are under the incubation currently, we have the healthy snack and also the nutritious porridge flour that is called the Nutrano product. And we also have another product that is omega-3 DH that is mimicking the fish oil to develop the child brain. It's not from the fish, it's from other ingredients, but it does the work that to develop the brain like the fish oil does. And we have the leather tanning. You have heard about it. I was talking to the team yesterday and they were asking about that. Do you know? So this is also one of our incubators, Dr. Cecilia China, and has developed environmental friendly user tanning chemicals from the natural, from the plants. Next. And we have the biopesticides from one of our incubators, Dr. Angela Mkind. So these were our students, and some of them are our faculty. We have absorbed them, and they are continuing with the innovation work. So this is one of the training that at the incubation center, because we train our incubators, and we have the training room where we discuss training them on how to develop business model, how all the branding issues, the regulatory and compliances. So all the trainings are done at this room. So these are some of the innovations that are performing in the industry. Maybe some of us have already heard about the nanofilter. That is one of the innovations that was emanated from NMI's to research, and this was developed by one of our faculty, Professor Hilonga, and it does well in the market. And this is the wastewater management system. Again, this is one of the innovation from our faculty, Professor Caroline Zhao, and is also is doing wonderful in the industry. So he's treating wastewater management, and when he perform, let's say, consultants to a certain company, we hear testimonies like after, if they're using his technology, like the treatment of water, the water that goes to the environment have the qualities that is required by the National Environment Committee. So this is the biogas project. Also, this is connected to the wastewater treatment. So the waste that they are treating from the wastewater, they are now, instead of like dumping them to be manure or so, they have started the biogas project out of the wastewater treatment. So this is in connection to the wastewater treatment innovation. So we have challenges as I say, we are still at the infancy stage. We are still learning. One of the participants today said, okay, we want to learn from you. Yes, we invite people to learn from us, but we are still learning from others as well. And especially on how to operationalize the incubation center for the sustainability. So the sustainability issues is one that we want to learn. And we think we can learn from our giant, like the UCT, University of Cape Town, and others like that. But we also have the opportunity and strength, like here, the research intensive, no undergrad. Those who enroll must conduct research, and we conduct the responsible and responsive research, and also the training curricula that incorporate appreciable doses of business studies and humanities, innovation and entrepreneurship skills. So that is a plus for us as we are moving to the innovation world. We have also the international culture. So our students are not from Tanzania only. So they are all from the regional. And our faculty, we also have adjunct faculty, even faculty from outside Tanzania. So that gives us the blended culture. So when we speak transformation, we are in a good position to roll that tire forward. Yeah, thank you for your attention.
A round of applause, please. Thank you, Dr. Edna, for that presentation. I think we want to remind you that we are having a virtual, we are following up the presentations virtually also. And so those of us who are joining us using the platforms, please keep your questions coming. You have a moderator on the Twitter and the Zoom. Kindly just keep your questions coming so that at the end of the session, we'll have them answered. At this point, we want to welcome Zishan Ahmed Khan. Okay, Dr. Zishan, to give us his presentation. Before again, we are joined virtually by Nazar Nicholas. So please, the stage is yours.
Am I audible? Good afternoon, all of you. First of all, I would like to thank Aheri for arranging such a conference. And with a very short notice of time, yesterday we come to know that there is a conference, and we were delighted to be a part of that. And my colleague, Mr. Sanket, has told me that can we are able to present something over there. So I told, yes, we can go ahead and we can present something for the, as per the theme of the conference. So we quickly make up this presentation, which will, as per the theme of the conference, like the theme is like building partnerships to support innovation in higher education institution through knowledge diplomacy. So we come up with a center in Nelson Mandela African Institution of Science and Technology. So we are a part of that actually. So in that we have a high performance computing facility. So in today's discussion, I'm going to represent that the implementation of high performance computing in research and innovation. Of course, research and innovation is a integral part of higher education. So we are going to discuss about the research and innovation part as per the high performance computing is concerned. So I'm going to present about the high performance computing things, and my colleague, Mr. Sanket Mohan Pandare, he is going to present about the tie-up between Government of India and Government of Tanzania and about this center in detail. So I'm going to discuss about technicality, like how this high performance computing plays a vital role in research and innovation, especially in higher education institution. So if you talk about any higher education institution, it is not possible to come up with any research outcome. So they have to come up with a research outcome after the study. So so all the courses, all the programs that are designed for the higher education, the students, those who enrolled over there, they must come up with some kind of innovation, some sort of research outcome, which will benefit not only society, but also the institution, industries, as a whole. It is going to support the whole country. Okay, it is going to support the people of the country, the businesses of the country, and the political system. Everything which comprises of a country will be benefited from that outcome. So now I'll talk about the high performance computing. Actually, to boost the performance, we need the high performance computing. So nowadays, because of the advancement, the requirement is like we need to perform better in every aspect of things. So similarly, to solve problems on computational aspect, we need to improve the performance of the existing systems. So as per the Moore's law, if you are aware of, we can't increase the number of transistors on a chip. So now the new era of computing comes, which is called as high performance computing, which is a cluster of various nodes actually, which is combining solving the problem of any computational problem. See, any computational problem, I am saying that as per the IT is concerned, IT is the backbone of all businesses. We cannot think of any business nowadays without making use of IT. So to solve the problems of any business, we need computational, we need IT. So nowadays, because of the advancements in data, so now the data are generating at a very rapid speed. So at the real time, we need to process that data as well, so that we will bring some positive outcome from that analysis of the data. So the existing systems which we have, like our laptops, they are capable to calculate 3 billion instructions. 3 gigahertz is the normal speed of computers. So they are capable to process 3 billion floating points calculations per second. But because of the data which is generating from various resources like social media, the IoT devices. Now, if we are talking about IoT, as on date, there are 50 billion IoT devices which are generating huge chunk of data. So to process those data, we need high performance machines, high performance computers. You can say that it is a supercomputer, kind of a supercomputer, which is going to process that data in a shorter span of time, and it is going to predict, or it is going to calculate, summarize the things in a shorter time, and so that you will be able to get the positive outcome from that in a specific time. So to move further, these are the yes. Yeah, these are the contents which is there. I'm going to discuss about some introduction to high performance computing, what it is, how it is, and all such things. And why is the need of that? and the various components of it, and the benefits, what you will get out of that, and some of the use cases which I'll take from the industry that in which this high performance computing is widely penetrate into it, and we can't imagine the solutions from that without high performance computing. So, and at the end, we'll talk about our HPC center, which is there at Nelson Mandela African Institution of Science and Technology. So, and all the partnership between Government of India and Government of Tanzania. So that will be covered by my colleague. Moving further, high-speed computing is basically high-speed computing originally implemented only in supercomputers, initially for scientific research. So we were thinking about high-speed computing only for scientific research previously, but now as the data is increasing, data is generating at a various fast rate. We used to call that term as big data. So that big data is a problem actually. So we need to process that big data to come up with that with a solution for that. So to the data is generating at a very high speed. So and we need to process that data. So we need a high performance computing facilities, machines that will process that, which has thousands of nodes to process our data. So this HPC is basically a combination of tools and systems, okay, to implement and create high performance computing systems and solutions. Mainly, previously, if we are thinking about it, is used for scientific research and computational science. But yes, of course, it is a part of that because it cost huge. So as I'm talking about, in Africa, in Tanzania, we have only 2 supercomputers like this. We have at the IT and we have at Nelson Mandela. So the researchers and the students, or maybe the faculties, the postdoc people, or the who are doing that, they are getting benefited out of that. They are making use of their problem statements and they are getting it solved using high performance compute. So this is basically an area of discipline which is developing parallel processing algorithms and softwares. High performance computing is basically a parallel processing algorithms are there, which is a combination of softwares and hardware. So that will be like actually dividing the whole big problem into an independent task, and those tasks are parallelly executed on various nodes in order to solve it. So we'll get the results that we are going to get from our normal PCs, normal laptops or normal computers or desktops in a maybe a couple of hours. Here those things will be done in a fraction of seconds. So those are the power of that actually. I'll talk about the use cases, then you will understand where exactly this is going to be applied. Now, high performance computing is one of the most impactful technologies used by scientists, researchers, innovators, engineers to develop the most advanced and most pressing modern innovations. So to bring up with modern innovations, we need to compute. Like as we have seen in the recent time of COVID, every country was rushing for developing the medicine, right? So the medicine cannot come without properly testing on it. So we need this high performance computing things through which we will simulate the drug development and drug discovery for avoiding the virus. So these things can be possible if every country will have such kind of facilities, and they have researchers who are doing research on these things and coming up with solutions which are ultimately benefiting the common man. Yeah. Now to further continue, the high performance computing most generally refers to the practice of aggregating computing power in a way that delivers much higher performance than one could get out of a typical desktop computer or a workstation in order to solve large problems in science, engineering, and business areas. So the another component which is to be replicated, or you can say is a replacement people usually consider is a supercomputer. Is basically supercomputer is basically one of the best known example of the HPC, high performance computing, in which one large computer is made up of many computers and processes that work together to achieve the parallel processing and high performance. High throughput is being given by that machine in order to produce the outcome. High performance computing is the ability to process data and perform complex calculation at a very high speed. These are some of the definitions like how you can understand high performance computing. The same one I have explained you that the laptop is having a 3 gigahertz of clock speed, which is performing around 3 billion calculations per second. But with this HPC, we can perform quadrillions of calculations per second because of its huge computational power. So we can perform. You will see the hardware configuration of the HPC in the later part of that. But as of now, I'm talking about the introduction things. Perhaps the most well-known kind of HPC is a supercomputer, which contains thousands of node servers working together to complete one or more tasks. That is called that can be done in a parallel fashion, which is called as parallel processing. To achieve the output, we are processing the things in a parallel fashion so that we will get the desired output in a shorter span of time. The performance of the system is improved. Now the question is, why is HPC important? Like nowadays, as I have mentioned that IoT devices are 50 billion as on date, which are generating huge chunks of data. So, as you people might have heard of terminology called as edge computing, okay, cloud computing, edge computing. So now edge computing is like we have to take decision at the edge part where these IoT components are being deployed. So we need cloud computing as well in order to process our data in a fast fashion. Now these IoT things generating huge chunk of data, and we need to not only take some decisions based on the data which is generating, but also we need to predict something. So with the help of artificial intelligence and to process the data which is generating from these IoT devices, we will make use of this HPC to process the data in a shorter span of time, and we could apply some machine learning algorithms to predict some output, which will be easier for us to take decisions. Okay, you will understand this in a later slides when I'm discussing about the use cases. When supporting functions such as AI inferencing or detecting incoming attacks. See, I told you that it is going to be applied on every single aspect of life nowadays. So, like for example, security breaches are there. So to detect the incoming attacks, to analyze data in real time is very critical. So this is going to be used. So this is why we need HPC to maintain a competitive advantage. Business and military personnel must be equipped with applications that can process and analyze massive amount of data in a rapid fashion. As and when it is generated, you have to process it so that you can take the decisions based on that data in a shorter span of time. Now, how does this all things works? So there are basically three main components through which this HPC works. Actually. So we have compute, we have a network, and we have a storage. So these three components comprises together is called as HPC. Actually, we need a huge computational power, and then we have a network which will connect all those nodes and which is collectively working for solving a problem. And then we have a huge database as well, because we are processing a huge data. So we should have a database also. We should have a storage capacity also, which can store that much data into it. So all together, these things is called as HPC. Now everything will have its own function. So at its core, a high-performance computing architecture comprises several servers networked together, also known as HPC cluster. We used to call it as HPC cluster as well. Each server in this cluster is called as a node, and each node works together to increase the processing speed. So to achieve that, these things are collectively working together as a cluster. So software programs and algorithms are also there, which are running simultaneously on the server. Basically, HPC is not only hardware, it also has applications which can exploit the computational power as well. So we should have a software as well. So at our HPC, we also have a lot of applications which are coming from various domains, various application areas through which we are gonna solve those problems. So the storage component needs to take in data and transfer it to the servers as quickly as it is processed. The networking component must support rapid data transfer between storage and servers. This is how the HPC, as a nutshell, it works. These various components are there. Those components collectively process the data and generate the output in a very short span of time. Now, see, now if you understand the how it works and what it is, you will easily come up with the benefits of that. What benefits we will get after processing the data in a HPC, or after using the HPC, what benefit we will get is, of course, there is a drawback also. It is a lot of cost involved into it. But as far as higher education institutions are concerned, as Nelson Mandela African Institution of Science and Technology, we already have this. So the participants, the students, those who are doing research over there, they are going to get the practical hands-on things. Okay, so that is one thing. But apart from that, we are also inviting various industries and various ministries in order to have their data kept on our HPC, and they will process. We will soon coming up with the monetization as well. So now the benefits is like it reduces physical testing, right? So for example, if you want to simulate some sort of tank crashing in a war, so how much impact it will come on the body of the tank. So those things nowadays, all sorts of automobile industries, they are actually making simulations on computers. They are making those kind of applications which are not physically doing all such kind of things. They are simulating the actual environment, and they are trying to test their applications in order to come up with the better product. So all such things needs, if you are doing all such things in a real time, in a real manner, you need a lot of money, as well as you will have to, that money will be like after destruction, after collision of those tanks or automobiles, you will incur a lot of loss. So to reduce the physical testing cost, these HPCs are to be used, which is going to be which will process the data in a real-time fashion, and they will predict the output as it comes in a real time. Now another is like speed. So we will get the results in a very short span of time. It depends on how big your data is, but it's like 1,000, even 5,000 times faster than your normal PCs. So those kinds of outcome you will get in a very short span of time. Now, of course, it has a cost saving as well. With increased processing power, problems are solved quickly, wasting less time and money. Organization that uses HPC can pay for what is scaling the amount of money spent as needed. Okay, so as I have told you that we are soon coming up with a monetization policy. So you people will be having like the industries or the ministries will be able to use our HPC on a pay-per-use kind of thing. Though I'm not aware of the exact plan, but it will come so that every industry exists in Tanzania is able to utilize the HPC which is present with Nelson Mandela. Not only for students, but also for industries and ministries, they will be able to use this for their development, for their keeping the data as a data center. They can use, they can process, they can analyze. So for tourism industry, for other things, it can be used. Now, now I will talk about some of the use cases, like how it is beneficial in healthcare and bioinformatics. So I'll take a couple of use cases, and then after that I'll forward my mic to my colleague. So in these use cases like healthcare and bioinformatics, improving healthcare and life sciences with high performance computing, HPC allows healthcare and life sciences professionals to process data in a near real time and generate insights that can transform patients' outcome. Bioinformatics also, like as I have done my master's on bioinformatics use case actually. So I know that it has genome sequencing. If you're aware of, it has for a human body we have 3 billion characters of that. So in order to detect any disease, maybe some sort of heredity diseases are coming from your parents, then it can be early detected. But it is possible when we process the data in a real time, when we have such kind of machines, when we have such kind of hardware, HPCs, that is going to produce the outcome. So in healthcare and bioinformatics, in case of like treatment of major diseases like cancers, so all such things is possible when you process your data on a real time. So all drug discoveries and all such things they are doing on a large scale using these computers, and they will come up with results. Now, the another aspect of this is weather and climate forecasting. So most of the people most of the people might confuse that weather and climate both are same thing. Yeah, weather is when we are talking about weather forecasting, it is basically when we are talking about short term, like tomorrow or maybe a week. But when we are talking about climate, then we are talking about years long. So in both cases, these HPCs are to be used. So in our HPC, we have a lot of inbuilt software, which is given by the maker of that. My parent organization, which is CDAC actually, Center for Development in Advanced Computing. They have developed a lot of softwares and they put those softwares into our HPC. In not only it has their own softwares, but also the other softwares which are going to be used and predict something as far as this weather and climate forecasting is concerned. We have a lot of modules for ocean modeling. We have other things through which we will make use of because see, in weather forecasting and such things, we need to process huge chunks of images. So those images are of bigger size, and we need a huge capacity to store, and in order to process it, we need a huge computational power. So with normal computing, we can't be able to conclude in a shorter span of time. But with HPC's computational power, we will be able to generate results in a short span of time. So now another use case is finance industry as well. Now huge number of financial transactions are getting generated every day, every single second. Now in order to detect fraud detections in a credit card, so a lot of other disciplines are there. So all those disciplines, datas are huge to be processed. So if we are solving those kinds of problems with HPC, definitely we'll get the results in a short time. Of course, it is near to the real time, we can say. So apart from that also, data science, artificial intelligence, aerospace engineering, fluid dynamics, lot of other areas in which this HPC to be used. Now, with this, I'm ending my session, ending my conversation. Now, I'm handing over my mic to my colleague, Mr. Sanket Mohan.
Now, because we are really constrained because of time, I don't know, because we have a presenter who is waiting on the line to present. Okay, can we have just a presentation of just 2 minutes so that we can conclude that? Thank you very much for the presentation. A round of applause, please, for Dr. Zishan. Thank you.
Habari za mchana bibi na bwana. This is Sanket, and my colleagues, Dr. Edna and Dr. Zishan, they explained a lot about Nelson Mandela, and they have spoken about HPC. Let me just take 2 minutes, and I just wanted to explain about the bilateral relation between Government of India and Government of Tanzania, and how it is going to be beneficial in next upcoming years. So may I have next? Yeah. So here, this slide, my colleague Dr. Edna had spoken a lot about what is an MST and how well established we are. So please, next slide. So here I'll explain about the organization from where we belong. It's a CDAC. It's Center for Development of Advanced Computing. So we are moreover focusing on high performance computing systems. We came in 1991 with one of the first supercomputer in India. It is called as Param 8000. And now we are top 3 in the world, and India is like ranking top 3 in supercomputing facilities. And we can proudly say like we have deployed supercomputing facilities like what we have in Nelson Mandela in 40 countries all across the globe, that to build a bilateral relationship between the countries which we have. So next slide, please. So till today, CDAC has successfully implemented numerous projects, like as I mentioned, is around 40 countries all across Africa, East Europe, Southeast Africa, Central Asia, and a lot more. So I'll not speak much about it, but our division in International Cooperation Division and Ministry of Electronics and IT, plus Ministry of External Affairs, they are working on this project, and they came up with this nice mission called national supercomputing mission where we are deploying these supercomputers in order to build HPC awareness all across the globe. And so far we have spawned around 40 countries, and in next 2 years we are planning around 28 more countries. Next slide, please. So this is all about our center. This center is called a Center of Excellence in IT. The principal objective for this center is to promote the development in ICT in United Republic of Tanzania. And we have our supercomputer deployed over here called Param Kilimanjaro. Okay. And so far, the achievement of this center is we have trained around 40 plus master students from the center, as well as 1,000 plus learning enthusiastic in various short courses, tech talks, workshops. Recently, we have finished one blended mode workshop on e-governance, where we have invited a lot of ministries, we have invited a lot of people from financial bodies, health sector, and all other sectors. So this is the next slide, please. So this is how the supercomputing facility looks. So this is just the pictorial view. Next slide, please. So as my colleague was talking about the specification, it's in Swahili you call it Kuba computer. Okay, so that's what we have at Nelson Mandela, and it has specification. You can see this the storage component, which we know is it's around 130 terabyte, and we have a lot of things, but I'm running short of time to explain this. So please, next slide. So application areas which I would like to focus is like we have a lot of application areas, like my friend mentioned over here. The most importantly is like we have climate modeling, we have weather prediction, we have recently there was a conference in Zanzibar, which is Tanzania annual ICT conference, and we explained there about what is ocean modeling and why it is important for all countries which are residing on coastal regions, because ocean modeling is one of the important aspects where we should know what is going to happen in the deep sea. Okay, so these are some application areas. Then jumping to next slide, we have this 2 masters program where we are training students all across Tanzania and East African community. Basically this 2 masters program will teach on wireless and mobile computing, and the second one is information systems and network security. So all in all, these 2 courses are teaching students the recent advancement in wireless and mobile computing, as well as recent advancement in information systems, network security, what is hacking, how to secure systems. Most of the students are from ministry, so we tell them how to secure. We know we have government systems, but we don't know how to secure them, how to use it. We use foolish password like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We use passwords like OK, ABCD 1, 2, 3, 4. No, these are not things. So we are teaching each and everything. We are spoon feeding our students. We are telling them how to do it step by step. We are teaching them what is ISO standard, how to implement ISO standards. So I'll not deep dive into the objectives of the master's program. I guess that's jump to next slide. So that's how I'm finishing up because of running out of time. So thank you so much. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you for that presentation. And thank you for presenting within the time. We are very sorry that we are constrained because of time. We have a presenter who has been waiting on the line, and I hope now we can connect with him.
Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you clearly.
Yes. If you can share my slide, I think I am slightly running out of time for the other meeting.
Okay, we are trying to connect the slides. Just a minute, we are connecting.
Okay, I think I'm going to show my face for my name is Anaza Nicholas Grama, and I am currently working with Internet Society Tanzania chapter, and I also doubles up as the Tanzania Internet Governance Forum. And because of the bandwidth issues, I think I will put my video off so I can continue with the presentation. Just as we wait for them to share the slides, I am not a professor nor a doctor, but I am rather a gentleman who happens to represent the bottom up. I think my friend in Kenya call it hustler. Yes. Okay. Today I'm going to present about the connecting the unconnected and unsaved through community organized broadband internet. I just want to showcase the project that we have done in one place a little bit outside of the central business district of Dar es Salaam in Kigamboni. And this project was basically inspired by what is happening around the world. If we look into the statistics today, roughly half of they are left behind. And next slide, please. And I wanted to also, before I begin my my presentation, to tell you what Internet Society is. It was founded in 1992 by internet pioneers like Vince Cerf and Bob Cat, the internet engineering task force. I believe that internet is for everyone, and that everybody should be connected to the internet. And our mission is to promote and support internet as a global technical infrastructure and a resource to enrich people's lives, as well as the force for good in our communities. We believe that internet presents an unprecedented opportunity for everyone to be able to connect to digital opportunities in equal footing, but now there has to be an issue that has to be addressed, the issue of affordable connectivity and affordable, we call it affordable and meaningful internet access. Next slide, please. That was inspired by the statistics of what is going on around the world, where people around 500 million, 7 billion people are not connected to the internet. It inspired us to think and and discuss, and after pull and push, we came up with one program called Tanzania Internet Inclusion Program. And basically, what we are looking at and what we are in Tanzania and affordable and meaningful broadband access. Also, in terms of ICT and ICT's consumption, mass digital literacy, we are looking into all three around 4 pillars of making sure that not only we connect people to affordable, to ensure that people do also get digital skills with which they can use, if I may use a very little thing that is used in African village, they get the internet, and with that you will need digital skills to be able to achieve that. And innovation uptake also is very critical, and it is attached because we believe that young people today need a space where they can not only internet access, where they can continue to work on their various systems and innovative ideas. Next. So the objectives of Tanzania Digital Inclusion Program, or project you might say, is to connect around 4 million people in the next 10 years. Also provide e-learning based digital skills to 50,000 teachers in 10 years. And number 4 is to create around 200 community network innovation hubs over the next 10 years. These objectives are not, are not born out of themselves. We are also part of the what is going on in terms of policy direction, from the ruling party, development plan from the government of Tanzania. Next, please. Next, thank you. So if I were to talk about what this program has been able to achieve in terms of what we have done to establish innovation hub as Blue Community Innovation Hub. And why is it we call it Blue? Is because it is situated alongside the it being the community structure. It is also how do we ensure that we have sustainable use of the ocean to be able to enrich the members of the community. And with this, we have been able to connect around 5 schools to broadband internet, 2 healthcare centers. And I think for the first time in Tanzania, we have been able to connect the smallest unit of government called Serikali ya Mtaa, Executive Office, to the broadband internet. I think with that, I think we have been able to create the history that never existed. Position, what executive office, and one community center. Our community only 120 citizens to the broadband internet access. And we have been able to achieve this because of the community mobilization and also mobilization of the funding to put up the infrastructure. Next, please. Around 960 young people have been and women have been trained on essential digital skills, and students now can be able to any problem they can be able to access Tanzania Institute of Education online digital library. So teachers are now able to, download materials, all teaching aids, without, caring about whether the data bundle is going to deplete for teachers. It is that, teachers now report and leave very late, and teachers are also now upgrading their skills using the free broadband internet that is available at their schools. And the good use case is when Tanzanian census was being done this year, the broadband internet was very instrumental to help teachers and government units that were connected, process their data. Next. Next. So it is before that, if you can show them the picture, please. The picture of the container where the infrastructure is housed. Yes. This is Kigamboni Community Innovation Hub. And they say the various services that include things like fintech and edtech, and also we teach some other things like, what does it mean to be, and so on and so forth. Next. Slide, please. So essentially, someone would be very curious to ask, what is this community innovation hub all about? What is it? Basically, I will take you back to an African village when people have a problem. For example, if there is a problem of water, they will gather together and decide we have a problem of water, and what should we do? And ultimately, they will decide, to dig a borehole. And that thing goes the same for community innovation. as you can see, if you can go to the previous slide, I don't know, because you're confusing me a little bit. Yes, yes. So basically, like I said, one of the objectives of Tanzania Digital Inclusion Program is to create innovation hubs, community, and to connect everyone through broadband internet. And like I was giving an example of when a village is having a problem of water, they get together, they decide on the best way to get, to get water for their village. And probably what they would decide is to dig a borehole. So this goes the same for the problem of connectivity. If the community is not having, is not getting affordable internet, what are the ways to be able to connect ourselves to the broadband internet? And that is where, the community network with us, we decided to attach the word innovation, because we believe as we move forward, innovation for the community is very important. And we really have to ensure that our communities, take the innovation uptake, and, we bring young people, wherever, where we establish the hub, we bring young people with the ideas so that they can be able to utilize the hub to work on their, to do their socio-economic activities on the issues that they agree. If it is a borehole, then they will do the borehole. If it's a project to take their kids to school, then they will do that. Number 3, it is where the infrastructure for the community is located, and it offers affordable and meaningful internet. And also, it is also a center for, for essential digital skills, like, digital marketing and so on and so forth. Next slide, please. So, although we were thinking about, having TADIP to close the digital divide in Tanzania, in rural and urban Tanzania, we are also part of implementing what, government of Tanzania is directing. For example, we are part of 5-year development plan. And if you were to go to the ruling party CCM manifesto 2020-25, you go to reference page number 98 on the part of communication, parts F, G, and H. It is all talking about, ensuring that the broadband internet increases from the current 45% to 80%. So by establishing community network innovation which connect schools, dispensaries, the community centers, and entrepreneurial groups, as well as implementing this manifesto Chama cha Mapinduzi. And also the same is talking about increasing the internet users from 43% to 80%. So we are part to, to achieve what is set out in the manifesto. On H, is talking about, implementing 40% of broadband internet in public places, such as schools, hospitals, by 2025. We are also part of the digital Tanzania program, which basically is a new funded by the government is able to deliver digital services to the citizens, the businesses, as well as itself, ensuring that they now move away from the implementation of into the digital platforms. And with this, the aim of the program is to make sure that they improve the government's capacity to deliver all these digital public services. Next, please. Next slide. One of the curious questions that one might ask is this, community innovation hub, sustainable? You will understand that, for you to be able to create infrastructure and connect people in long range, in long distances, you will need spectrum. However, spectrum expensive. So, in the absence of spectrum for community internet service providers, the only option that remains network innovation hubs, where people share and decide, and from there they start, getting the affordable internet. And the formula that we are using is you take, affordable plus meaningful broadband internet equals to wholesale, data package plus cooperative cost sharing plus X. And the mathematics is, if you may call it AMBI, equals to WDP plus, COCOS plus X, where X is the ready infrastructure from the social investors. Next slide. But who are the social investors? Basically, the members of the community who decide to fundraise for their infrastructure, themselves, number two, the infrastructure, and number three, you have benefactors like foundation and the grantors. And the kind of technology that can be used is you can use fiber, satellite, unlicensed, radios, TV, wide is for a next. Next slide. Next slide, please. There's one thing I would like to share with you guys. Like I said, at the Internet Society, we also offer free learning. There are a number of courses like internet governance, community network courses, which I think is run by one of our compatriot, Barack Piano. And there are, courses that you can subscribe and learn for free, where others are actually paying for this. You can get this for free. And last thing before I finish is that we have been able to achieve the connectivity, broadband connectivity for the Kigamboni Community Network Innovation Hub cooperation. When our model, requires at least if you have 100 people to associate, you take, whoever is selling the wholesale data service package, and then you slice it according to the number of people. And with that, you can be able to connect with as many people as you can connect. And with 100, with the minimum of 100 individuals, you can be able to connect yourselves to broadband internet, where schools, health centers, and entrepreneurs, young innovators can be able to enjoy internet. And the most fundamental thing that is driving us to be able to do this is that we believe internet is an opportunity where everybody should be able to be connected. And we are not doing this because we want to connect people to the internet, but what is basically driving us is connecting people to digital opportunities. It can be learning, it can be, doing a small business online, it can be a teacher upgrading. Sorry. Just a mama mboga, essential digital skills to young people, women, and any ordinary citizen. We believe that we shall be able to connect as many people as we can possibly to digital opportunities that exist online. And with that, I say thank you for the opportunity to present, and I look forward to probably be with you guys probably next year, where we can have one-on-one chat on how you can be able to replicate this in your locality, because this is an exercise that you can really replicate without any major challenges. Thank you, and I look forward to see you.
Thank you so much, Bananaza, for that presentation. We had a bit of challenges of
next year.
You clearly, but the slides were quite helpful. Thank you. Now, in the interest of time, I think I'm going to, before that, let's give a round of applause to Bananaza.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Thank you. Now, in the interest of time, I'm going to allow just about 3 questions, if we have any, to our presenters. I know we've had quite a number of them. Any question? Okay, I would wish to ask Dr. Nishan, you say that you have got a center of excellence. You are having this as a center of excellence. Now, are you intending to develop softwares that can analyze data, and so that this becomes a regional hub for data analysis, or things like molecular data? Can somebody or researchers from Kenya send you data that they can analyze, and then you send back the output?
Thank you for the question. As of now, what we are doing is to attract the ministries and to attract the students, we are making various use cases. Recently, I have visited that TAIC conference in Zanzibar. So there we have developed an application for tourism sector. So where we have a kind of tourism data to analyze that data, we used our HPC to process that data and come up with certain results. So, but the data set that we have used over there is a sample data set in order to showcase what we can do using supercomputer, what we can do using high performance computing. But yes, we do have plans for other countries, especially in East African countries, so that the researchers and various organizations over there, they can come up with some sort of data problems, and they can come up with their data problems, and they can make use of our HPC, because it is for the benefit of the East African community. So here also I would like to say that if in your organization, if you are in need of data processing solutions, then definitely we have, as I have already said in the in my presentation, that very soon Nelson Mandela African Institution of Science and Technology are coming up with their monetization policy, so that people can commercially use that HPC. So as of now, we have developed some use cases, but if other industries or other ministries or other institutions, they want to do some sort of research, or they want to develop some softwares, we are welcoming you to come and join hands with us, and we will together develop some kind of solutions which will be ultimately benefiting the East African countries as a whole. Thank you.
Please. Yes, we have Secretary. Somebody to give her a mic, please.
No,
all
it's okay. I have a mic. My question goes to Dr. Makule. I think it's amazing what your institution is doing. I actually got goosebumps yesterday when you took us around. And even today, it was just amazing to see what you people are doing there. My question is about intellectual property theft. How do you ensure that there's no intellectual property theft? Because you talked about the protection. Does it come too late? Or because people steal ideas and then they run with it? So how do you ensure that those ideas are not stolen? And then your porridge, is it in the market? How can we get it? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. And there's another question, whether you're networking with Kenya, I guess on the products. Yeah. So do you have a market in Kenya?
Thank you for your question. Concerning like ensuring theft on intellectual properties, we are trying our best. And in that regard, we have developed an intellectual property policy, which state that all innovations, so every innovation that come up in the frame of the research that is conducted at NMIs belongs to the institution. So before the intellectual property management policy was in place, some few had like applied for IPs on their own name. So after it came to, after we had the policy in place, so the management had a meeting to discuss on how we can deregister the IPs from their names and come back to the institution. So we are still in the negotiation. Some is already accepted, and the deregistration process on its way, and some are still in negotiation. Yeah. Considering that we are partnering with Kenya in the Uji, our instant porridge. Yes, but we had partnership with the University of Nairobi, and also a partnership with the University of Eldoret. The porridge is in the market. We are now at the market test, and yeah, it was like we didn't knew that we could do some exhibition, but maybe tomorrow there will be some pieces of the package here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any other question? The last one, probably. If we don't have, then I want to say thank you very much for your patience. We are finishing slightly beyond our scheduled time, and we want to say a big thank you for the patience. This apparently is the end of our presentations today. And now I want to wish each and everyone a lovely evening and invite you for our evening tea, even as we break. Tomorrow we are beginning at 8:30, so please, our conference is still continuing. Please, let's be here, be seated and settled by 8:30. We'll begin with a round up or a summary of what has taken place this day, so that we can pick up from there tomorrow. Thank you.